Get up, you called him softly and sat down on the edge of the bed. Morning, mummy. His little body moved and then sleep soundly again. It's almost noon. Are you still not up? You looked at the time. He opened his eyes to look at you sleepily. Just this glance, and you were stunned by his gaze. Too similar. After you gave birth to him, you watched him grow up day by day. He was very young. You always felt this child's facial features was similar to Jungkook. Because of this thought, you still laughed at yourself in your heart. Why did you still remember that person after so much time had passed? That was why you felt that this child looked like Jungkook. But later, Jenny also unintentionally mentioned it, which caused you to be slightly shocked. So you thought that the reason why Rowoon looked like Jungkook was because Jungkook and Jonghan were brothers. That was why there was such a gene. Otherwise, why did he look so similar? Child grew and the outline gradually grew. His appearance could be said to be carved from the same mold as that man. However, this was a baby variant. You had been unable to understand this question, but you didn't think about it anymore. Anyway, it was useless to think more. You just needed to live every day and raise him well. It would be great. Are you still not up? Your voice was soft as you called him. He rubbed his eyes and sat up obedient. Oh, mommy, I seem to have overslept today. You didn't sleep at time last night? He blinked his eyes. Mummy, I couldn't sleep last night because uncle told me a long story. You felt bad. Sokjin seemed to be in good spirits when he was talking. He always overloaded himself. He always gave time for his nephew and sister so much. You smiled and patted his cheek. All right, get up. Aunt Nini have a job today, so mommy will take you out today. Later, then we will do shopping nearby market. Let's see if there is anything that needs to be brought. He immediately got up. Okay, mummy, wait 10 minutes for me. He jumped from bed to go wash up. This little guy is always energetic. You also went back to your room to get ready. You looked at the mirror while putting makeups and stared in a daze. Once upon a time, you always stay barefaced and your natural skin, but now it seemed unable to go out without putting on makeup. Felt past really made you change in different person. Time was a sharp weapon. No matter who it would quietly change in time. Seoul is living well. Why did you have to move to Busan? A tall man stood near the window with his hands behind his back. He wore a dark suit but didn't look mature. Instead, he had the charm of a mature man. Although the man's figure looked thin, the body was well built and masculine. His deep eyes were like sharp eagles as they slightly narrowed. Looking down at the entire city, the man's lips moved. It's fine if you moved here, but since when did you start to like the higher ups? A woman in household clothes walked out of the kitchen. Her hair was half tied up as she looked beautiful in each dressing. She put a plate of fruit on the table and took a bite of the apple. Then why did you come to me when you were staying in Seoul? Busan is a city of heroes. I like the air here. What's wrong with that? The man didn't reply as he just stood there without moving. She looked at his back and picked up a piece of fruit and put it into her mouth. Could it be that he's alone and injured? So he came to his aunt's place to look for warmth. Jungkook, I don't have the warmth you want here. You saw the house too. Your aunt is alone. Really? His voice was faint. Why don't you call uncle over? Could it be you are done with uncle? What are you talking about? So rude. She sighed. Do you think I don't want to be with him? Your mother has given me too much of a shadow and you know that I can't give birth, and your mother entrusted you to me. I will always treat you as my son. He turned around and frowned. You? What? Are you not convinced? She slammed the table in anger and got up, trying to pull his ear, but he avoided. Anyway, I don't care. If I stayed all alone here in the future, you will have to take care of me. Jiun and Namjoon were having issues on the relationship. They don't get much time for each other, and the June being infertility, she left that she need to give up on the relation. So she moved here, but Namjoon wasn't ready to let go. That's why Jungkook wanted to fix their relation but don't know how to convince. He have no idea about it at all. He glanced at her indifferently and grabbed the car key as he was about to go out. What are you going to do? Seeing that you have so much free time all day, why don't you go to the market downstairs and buy something for me? He frowned. I came to the neighboring city to go to the market for you. What's wrong with going to the market? You came to visit aunt. Is there a problem with being nice for your aunt? She cast a sidelong glance at him. No, he refused. Go by yourself? Sure. She straight away, then send me there. He pursed his lips in displeasure. What is it? What's wrong with being nice? Isn't it downstairs? You still want me to send you? But June went out, signaling him to follow, and he did. His little aunt is just. Therefore, he can't do anything to her. Soul City is always lively, and her shift make her exhausted that he couldn't catch up time. It wasn't easy for her to transfer here. After entering market, she asked Jungkook to push a shopping cart, although he was impatient. He was very honest. Basically, he would do whatever June said. His appearance made many girls in the market excited and stared at him. My god, that man is so handsome. Is she his girlfriend next to him? No way, she looks younger sister. Jiun wasn't that older than Jungkook, so many misunderstood if they walked together. Their outlines are quite similar. Girls really wants to go over and asked about him, but they didn't dare to do, as noblemen won't fancy the workers. When June heard some gossip, she couldn't help smiling and turned to look at Jungkook with a smile. It seems like my nephew's charm has not diminished. Girls love him everywhere. He was little unhappy, auntie. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. I know you're not a person to tease. She sighed helplessly. Ever since wine left, you have, little aunt? The name seemed to have touched his reverse scale as he stopped walking and stood unhappily. She raised her brow, pursing her lips. Just pretend that auntie didn't say anything, let's go. Don't mention this, he interrupted unhappily. She felt helplessly and mad. You're not allowed to mention anything. You have a lot of requests. People like you, other than being handsome and rich, really have nothing else. No wonder you are still single. Let's go. We will go to the fresh area downstairs and buy some fish and fruits. He couldn't help it. Your shopping was done, so you tell Rowoon to sit on the shopping cart. That way you will push him along the way. You pushed him all the way, roaming around. After buying necessary things, Jungkook went to the counter to pay bill. Few girls stared at him with glowing eyes, but their eyes light dimmed, thinking about his wife and son. Counter girl realized something but felt strange. Sir, do you want to take your wife's things with you? The bill has been paid. He didn't seem to hear her words as he picked up the bag expressionlessly and was about to walk. Sir, June sensed something. Are you talking to him? The girl was a little surprised but nodded. Yes. You just said his wife. The girl was confused by June's confused look. She hesitated. Just now, behind you, a beautiful lady came in with a child? She went upstairs just now. I thought you were a couple. Jungkook frowned unhappily and stared at the cashier. Girl felt a chill down her spine under his sharp gaze as she looked down. That June saw that Jungkook was not in a good mood, so he smiled awkwardly. We came in together. Did you recognize the wrong person? Cashier felt wrong and apologized, but the sharp gaze didn't lessen as June helplessly shook her head. It was just misunderstood. It's not a big deal. Alright, Jungkook, do you want to scare the little girl? Let's go. Jeon pulled Jungkook's hand and left the market. The girl was really scared that her eyes turned red. Some other came to comforted her. Are you okay? The cashier shook her head. I'm fine. It's just that he looked so cold and scary just now. Yeah, I also felt that. That case is too shocking. This kind of man. He looked so good. But let's not talk. Let's go back to work. Don't fuss around. They didn't understand why they have this type of illusion. They need to think twice before opening mouth to the stranger. You came down after a while and paid again for second shopping cart. After that, you realized that you both had bought so much you and Rovon couldn't move but froze. You felt little annoyed. Some of good people help you to bring things out of the mall, then ask the driver to help as you increase the money for him. The cashier stared at you and you noticed her eyes are slightly red, but you didn't ask. Girl will never dare to mess around with that kind of man again. She'll learn the lesson. After getting into the car, you received Jenny's call. You thought she had finished her work, so Rovon picked up the phone. He usually discussed about the dishes with her, but after a while, Rovon passed the phone to you. Rovon could hear the anxiety in her tone. Mommy, Aunt Nini seems to have something urgent for you. You nodded and took the phone. Hello, Nini. What happened? Save me, Sarang. My eyebrows are burning. You actually still have the mood to go to the market to buy things? You raised your brows. What's the matter? She sighed. I told you I came to measure Miss Joy's figure. Do you know the result? She actually hung me by the side for an hour because I was a minute late. You looked at the window and saw the poster of Miss Joy that Jenny mentioned. Park So-young, known as Joy, was currently very popular in the country. She was good at the industry, but rumors can be heard that she's very arrogant and picky for script. Her manager already informed to the designer that the dress needed to be perfect. Jenny thought of rejecting about this deal, but you take it. A big business, how could you not do it? You are mostly lazy, but you had to make a living. Jenny also relied on you, but not really. She helps you a lot. In addition, you wanted to create superior living conditions for Rovon, so you work hard, but you are free. You take no pressure on work. You enjoy doing your passion. And then you asked softly. Then I waited for her to act. After she finished shooting, do you know what she actually said? When I wanted to measure her up, she actually said that she was tired and wanted to rest. So she turned me aside. She sounded bitter. I let her rest for 10 minutes, then wanted to measure. She actually said that I hurt her. She said that I was unprofessional and now she doesn't let me get close to her. You reached out to pinch the space between eyebrows. So Jenny cursed underneath and started to get frustrated. She was frightened by Miss Joy to death as that actress was really treating her bad. So you asked the address. She was not ready to give you the address at first, but gave it anyway. It wasn't in her hand to handle smoothly, as she can't tolerate others' ridiculous. Rovon was very sensible and understanding. Maybe because he was raised by a single mother, that's why he cared about things around you more. Your heart ached for him even more and reached to touch his head. Baby, I will bring Aunt Nini back and we will make braised fish for you. He nodded repeatedly. Okay, mommy, don't worry. The driver accepted the money very readily and sent you both to the residence and helped to move all the things to the door. He was very polite and didn't enter the door. He waited for you to the downstairs and agreed to leave you to the place. Jenny was in right now. You spent some effort to drag all the things into the apartment with your son's help and put them in the fridge. You show him some snacks to eat later when he will be hungry, as he don't want to trouble you going together. He kissed your cheeks and waved his hands, indicating you to leave first. Most of the time, you wanted to accompany him because he didn't have a father and you couldn't let him lack of motherly love, but many things couldn't be compared. You wanted to create good living conditions for him, so you have to work hard to earn money. But the problem is once you put yourself into work, you often neglect yourself or even your son. Fortunately, Jenny was by your side all these years. She cared Rowoon so much. Driver uncle praised Rowoon's polite and obedient manner. You are proud mother as your son's genes are really good. His father must be good as well, as son is so smart. By the way, ma'am, why you were alone taking care child? You lowered your eyes, covering the emotions by eyelashes, and softly said, the father of the child is on a business trip today. He will back tonight. Not everyone was a bad person, but as a woman and as a single mother, you need to protect own family alone. As driver asked, even you have met once, it's just a sign of people trying to find any topics to be good to each other. Driver didn't ask any further and sent you to the destination. This area, I have brought quite a number of people here. They are all small celebrities, but judging from your outfit, you are not here to film, are you? You nodded at him and paid for the car. Yeah, I'm not here to film. I'm here to look for someone. You got out of the car and sent a message to Jenny. After a while, you saw Jenny standing at the entrance. Love, I'm here. When she saw you, she felt as if she saw Savior and touched her heart. That almost made her cry. When you walked to her, she reached out to hug you. Great, you finally came. If you didn't come, I feel like I'm going to be tortured to death by that vicious woman. The sun is so hot and she actually made me wait outside for so long. You saw she is wet by sweat as your eyes darkened a little bit. Quickly and the paddle and bring me over. She pulled your hand and walked inside. You saw many things on the way, actors and actresses on costume. As the season was summer, each place have small fans all over. Your eyes swept past. Some of manager came to stop you two from entering. But Joy's manager came to receive. Your aura was looking cold. They didn't dare to offend you. Jenny was stunned as their attitude wasn't good earlier, but suddenly changes surprised her. Joy's manager bring you to the Joy's restroom. The woman had a beautiful makeup on and delicate features. She turned her head to look at you. She was indeed beautiful. Otherwise, how would she be so famous in such a short time? But she is hostile to other pretty girls. She originally thought that a famous designer must be an elderly woman, even if not that old, but should be not good looking. But she didn't expect you to have this much aura. Just a simple outfit and sunglasses made her pressured. She is that famous designer from overseas, Eva. She doesn't look like it at all. Joy curled her lips in disdain and laughed. The expression on the manager's face was a little awkward and look at you, but your expression didn't change at all. Eva is from Korea and her Korean name is Kim Sarang. Oh, Kim Sarang. Never heard of you. Are you really a famous designer? Could it be an impersonation? Before you could react, Jenny gritted her teeth and argued. What nonsense are you talking about? How can a well known designer from overseas be someone who can impersonate someone just because he wants to? Isn't it just a minute late? Do you have to keep making things difficult for me? You even made things difficult for Sarang. Oh, so in your opinion, a minute is not considered late? Miss, do you know how precious my time is to me? How much work change in a minute? Can you think how much I will lose in just a 1 minute? Jenny was speechless. You held her arms and stepped forward. Miss Joy, when we signed the contract back then, we clearly stated that you would cooperate with our staff, especially during the design period. But now it seems that Miss Joy's time is really precious, that she is not willing to cooperate for even a minute. Of course, my assistant being late is a mistake she made, but if she doesn't apologize to you due to her bad attitude, I will naturally punish her. But my assistant apologized to you and even waited for 2 hours for you, right? Let's calculate it this way. How much did Miss Choi wait for 1 more minute? My assistant's salary is paid per month according to the commission ratio. The extra 2 hours she waited for you should have been cancelled outright.